So this video shows how you can set up a Windows virtual environment on Amazon AWS EC2 and there install Python and Eclipse IDE in order to write Python program on the EC2 virtual environment. So the reason why someone may want to write Python in EC2 environment is, for example, you have a Mac, but your course is prepared under the Windows environment, and you need to get a Windows machine without paying. Okay, so for reasons like this, you can get a virtual Windows server and install the software on the virtual server for free. First, you need to log into your AWS account, so you can search AWS and sign into your account by clicking this button. Step, you can launch an EC2 AWS service. Probably you will already have an EC2 listed in there, but if not, you can simply search EC2 and choose the EC2 service. So if you have never created an EC2 instance, you will have an empty list of instances in this screen. In that case, you can click the Launch Instances. And because we want to create a Windows instance, you can navigate through this list and choose Microsoft Windows Server 2019 Base, which is under the free tier eligibility. And in the second step, you're going to choose an instance type, which basically means you decide how many CPUs and how much memory you want to use for your virtual Windows server. So the only free option available is T2 Micro, but it only gives you one CPU and one memory, which is pretty poor in terms of performance. So I would suggest to use at least a T3 Medium with 2 CPUs and 4 GB memory. However, it's not free if you upgrade from T2 Micro to T3 Medium. So my suggestion would be, if you don't want to pay money upfront, you can try T2 Micro first and follow all the steps in this video. But later on, if you find out the virtual server is too slow for you, then you can create another instance with T3 Medium and paying a few dollars per month to get a decent virtual Windows computer. So after selecting the instance type, you can hit Review and Launch. Before you can launch your EC2 instance, you need to create a key pair, and in order to do so, you can create a new key pair and give it a name such as MSIS 415. The name doesn't matter, just give it any name. And download the key pair. Okay, just make sure you save this key pair with the extension .pem to somewhere you can easily find. Okay, then you can click the Launch Instances. And you can go back to the previous screen by hitting the View Instances button. And then the new instance that you just created should be under the pending status. Okay, you can wait for a few minutes until the status icon changes to running. And also you need to wait for the status check column to show green to check passed before you can successfully launch it. Okay, here we go. So in order to log into your instance, you can check the instance that you just created. Then from this connect button, switch to RDP client. And before you download the remote desktop file, you want to get the password first. From this screen, browse to the folder where you saved the PEM file and hit the decrypt password. Okay. So this is the password you need to log into your Amazon EC2 instance. So you can copy it and then download the remote desktop file and open it. And paste the password that you just copied. Right, then you have logged into your EC2 instance, allowing the network to be discovered. So this is a virtual Windows environment where you can download the Python and Eclipse. But before you can do so, you need to enable the download on the Internet Explorer, because it's by default prohibited. So in order to unlock it, you can go from the start menu and search server. So by searching server, you'll be able to find an app named Server Manager. And after starting the Server Manager, you can switch to local server, and you will see by default the IE Enhanced Security configuration is turned on. And this will prohibit you from downloading anything using the IE. So what we want to do is to click this on and switch them off for both admin and users. You may need to wait a couple of minutes to see the change in effect. Here we go, it's turned off. So now your IE is ready to download the software on your virtual server. And open the Internet Explorer. Okay. So the first software you want to download into the EC2 is Python. And you can simply search Python in the search box and go to download. And download the latest Python version, should be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna run the Python installer right after the download. Install now. And also add Python. Don't forget to add Python 3.10 to the path environment variable. Okay, and wait for the download and installation to finish. So the next software we want to download is Java, because Java is needed to install the programming IDE called Eclipse. So we can search Java, maybe just search Java, and you can find Java from Oracle and all Java downloads to get to this page. And because our EC2 instance is a Windows 64 version, so you can choose the Windows offline 64-bit version download of Java and run it. Okay. And just install it in the default folder, should be fine. Okay, here we go. Okay. After Java is installed, you can move on to installing Eclipse. So you can search Eclipse. Okay. And get to the download page under the eclipse.org. Okay, and we can simply just download the first option. So if the download doesn't start automatically, just hit the button again. Just run it. Okay, so the thing you just downloaded is it's not the Eclipse itself, but it's an installer software, which helps you to install the actual Eclipse. And the version that we need is called Eclipse IDE for Eclipse committers. After the installation, you can launch the Eclipse. And you can select the default workspace and hit launch. Okay, then you will see this welcome screen. But before you can write and run Python from within Eclipse, we need to install one final extension, and that's called Pydev, that can be downloaded from the help Eclipse marketplace. And there you can search Pydev. Okay, search Pydev followed by an enter. And the Pydev for Eclipse is the one extension you need to install. Okay, simply confirm every single step and accept the license. And after the installation is done, we need to restart the Eclipse IDE for the Pydev to be recognized by Eclipse. Okay, so Eclipse will start automatically. And after restarting the Eclipse, you can check whether the Pydev is installed by trying to create a Pydev project. And to do so, you can hit the File, New, and there's no Pydev project listed here, so you can search Other and search Pydev to, okay, there we go. There's one called Pydev project. Hit next. And give it a name like my first Python project. And for the first time writing a Python project within Eclipse, we need to configure the interpreter. And you can hit the please configure an interpreter before proceeding. manual config. Okay, since there's no Python interpreter configured yet, we can hit this new button and browse for Python py.exe. Okay, so basically, we need to tell Eclipse where the Python executable is installed on your EC2 machine. And the quickest way to find it is go from the start menu and just search Python. Okay, and locate the Python 3 point something that you just installed. Click. Okay, right click, open file location. Okay, but the file that you just opened is a shortcut folder. So we need to right click it again and choose open file location one more time. Okay, and this Python program is executable, and this is the folder path in which you installed the Python executable. So we can copy this, and copy the folder path. Okay, then we can come back to this select interpreter screen and browse. Okay, and now we can replace this folder path with the thing we just copied and hit enter to quickly locate the Python interpreter executable that we installed. Okay, choose that one and open. Okay, and the rest of the things will be configured automatically. Okay, and hit OK, then apply and close. Alright, then the previous error should be gone, and we are ready to finish the Eclipse startup. Okay, open the Eclipse Python Pydev perspective. Okay, so you can simply close this welcome screen, which can be annoying. Okay, so this is the Python Pydev Eclipse Pydev project folder that you just created. And in order to write a Python program, what we need to do is to simply right-click on the project folder, select New, and choose Pydev module. Okay, give it a name, such as my Hello World. Okay, be careful, don't put your file name in the package field, but write the file name in the name field and hit finish. Okay. And for the template, we don't need to use any template, just choose the default empty template. Okay. So this is the place where you can type the Python commands. So for this first demo, I will just simply print a message called hello MSIS 415, okay, which simply prints a message to the console. Okay, so in order to run the Python program that you created, and you can save this I can save all and save the Python module, and then you can run the Python module by right click on the py module, right click, select run as, and choose the Python run. Then your result or output will be showing up in the console screen. Okay, right, so this is how to install Pydev, Eclipse Pydev in a Windows environment and run a simple Python program there. Okay, one last suggestion is if you chose the P3 medium instance, then whenever you don't use it, please remember to stop it in order to avoid being charged. If you leave the T3 medium instance on for the full month, running 24 hours, 7 days a week, then it's gonna charge you around $50 per month. But you can reduce the monthly charge by selecting the instance and go to the instance state and choose stop instance. And be careful, don't choose the terminate instance, because the terminate instance will completely delete the Windows server. But instead, the stop instance will simply stop it, just like turning off your computer. Okay, so this way you won't be charged for the time when you're not using the T3 medium instance. Okay, so this is how to install a Windows server on Amazon Cloud and write a simple Python program there. Thank you for watching.